Right now at 6 on this Monday, witnesses testifying in the first murder trial and the death of Jared Bridegan. Thank you for joining us. I'm Anthony Alston.
And I'm Jeannie Blaylock. Mario Fernandez-Saldana is accused of orchestrating the shooting death of the St. Augustine father of 4 back in 2022.
And tonight we have live team coverage covering this trial. Riley Phillips has been in the courtroom since this morning, hearing from several witnesses, including the widow of Jared Bridegan. But first, Heather Crawford is joining us. And Heather, you've also been out there all day. Just kind of wrap up the latest for us on what you guys learned in the courtroom.
That's right, Anthony. I was in the courtroom all day long today, and Mario Fernandez is the first of 3 people on trial for the murder of Jared Bridegan. Today, I saw the 12 jurors and 4 alternates listening intently, taking notes as they listened to the state and the defense present their opening statements, kind of spelling out the case of what we're going to see over the coming days. The state alleging that Jared Bridegan was ambushed in a premeditated plot as a tire was intentionally placed in a dark, narrow road in Jacksonville Beach that he came upon right after he dropped off his twins that he shared with his ex-wife Shanna Garden at the home that she lived in with her husband Mario Fernandez-Saldana. Now the prosecution and the defense both agreeing that Henry Tennant, who is Fernandez's former tenant, is the man who pulled the trigger. But the state saying that Mario solicited the murder, and they're going to have to prove that because he's charged with first-degree premeditated murder and solicitation of a capital offense. The defense saying that there's no evidence putting Mario at the crime scene and no evidence actually linking him to the murder of Jared Bridegan. Now, today we heard jurors listen to 5 witnesses the state called. The second to last witness to take the stand today was Kirsten Bridegan. That is Jared Bridegan's widow. Investigative reporter Riley Phillips continues our live team coverage now. And Riley, as we were listening to Kirsten testify today, parts of it were very emotional.
Yes, Kirsten Bridegan was choked up on the stand today as the prosecutors asked her about her late husband, Jared Bridegan, and showed her pictures of him. She says she told police the night of the shooting that the only people she could think to look into in connection to the shooting was Mario Fernandez-Saldana and Shanna Gardner.
Ms. Bridegan, are you the widow of the deceased victim in this case, Jared Bridegan?
I am.
It was an emotional day of testimony Monday as the jury and members of Jared Bridegan's family in the gallery heard from Bridegan's widow and the first 2 people who arrived on scene the night he was killed. It was a couple who found him face down on the road and his 2-year-old daughter in the backseat of his car.
She was shaking. She was like panting as if she's been crying. She was very worried about her dad.
Kirsten Bridegan then took the stand, telling the story of how she and Jared met on a dating app and began a life together in St. Johns County just a few years before he was killed. Assistant State Attorney Christina Stifler asked Kirsten about the relationship with Jared's ex-wife, Shanna Gardner. Jared and Gardner had 2 children together. They split custody 50-50 with date nights on the weeks the children were not with the other parent.
Could you describe what the co-parenting relationship was like between the 4 of you? Would you consider it civil, amicable, petty?
It was pretty terrible.
On the night of February 16th, 2022, Kirsten told the prosecutor nothing seemed out of ordinary with Jared and the kids. She says she was on the phone with him right after he dropped off the kids at Gardner's house, but started to worry when she realized he was late getting home. Kirsten says she kept calling Jared, and eventually an officer picked up and told her to go to the Jacksonville Beach Police Department. That's when she learned Jared had been shot and killed.
When you say you offered up, did you direct them to potentially investigate specific individuals?
I did.
And who were those individuals?
Mario Fernandez and Shanna Gardner.
The defense only asked Kirsten a few questions during their cross-examination, specifically about Jared and Gardner's divorce. Attorney Jesse Dreiser asked whether she knew their family law case was closed before Jared's death. Kirsten said she did not. He also asked her about when they told Jared's children of his death.
I wanted someone who loved Jared and the kids to be present when his children were informed of his murder, yes.
And we also heard from one of the first police officers to arrive on scene that night. He says he started giving Jared Bridegan CPR before he realized there was a child on scene as well. And with this trial officially getting underway today, we want to take a look at some of the people you'll probably be hearing about throughout the course of the next 2 weeks. Starting with Jared Bridegan, a 33-year-old Microsoft executive. He was living in St. Augustine at the time and was married to Kirsten Bridegan. They had 2 children together, including Bexley, who was 2 years old when she was in the back seat of the car while Jared was shot and killed just feet away. Shanna Gardner is Jared's ex-wife. They also share 2 children together. Gardner and Jared got divorced in 2015. She met Mario Fernandez-Saldana at a gym in 2018, and they were married shortly after. They're accused of conspiring to kill Bridegan and hiring Henry Tenen to pull the trigger. Court records show Fernandez-Saldana leased a home to Tenen.
And again, it was a very emotional day inside the courtroom as the state begins to lay out their case against Mario Fernandez-Saldana. Of course, tomorrow we'll be hearing from more witnesses from the state. Heather.
Riley Phillips live tonight. Thank you for that. Riley, one of the things that really stood out to me today was the state was presenting the case saying that Jared Bridegan was a devout Mormon. He and Kirsten attended the Mormon church, and that the daughter he shared with Shanna Gardner, his ex-wife, was getting ready to be baptized. And Kirsten testified that they had gone shopping, they were picking out a baptism dress, and they'd been talking at about a month or 2 before Jared Bridegan was killed. And then we heard the state question Kirsten about the relationship there, as far as Shanna saying that Shanna had left the Mormon church, and that this relationship between Jared and his ex-wife was so contentious. They fought about everything. But listen to what Kirsten said when it came to their daughter getting baptized in the Mormon faith.
We had a conversation where we were just like, this kind of strange how calm and agreeable they were to allowing her to be baptized like that. It was very strange to us.
Did AB ever get baptized?
She did not.
So court has wrapped up for today. The jury has been sent home for the night. They will be back here at 9 a.m. when the state will call more witnesses to the stand. I'll be inside the Duval County Courthouse tomorrow along with our other crews, and our coverage will continue tomorrow, and we'll have more as well tonight on First Coast News at 7 and 11. And you can watch the trial streaming live on First Coast News Plus. Again, it begins tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. We're live tonight outside the Duval County Courthouse. Heather Crawford, First Coast News.